G'day guys, welcome to the Aussie Gooner channel, and this is a new thing from the Aussie Gooner guys. We're doing a bit of a hookup here with my mate Nick, old school Arsenal fan, 93 days just like this man over here. A little bit of insight from an Australian Gooner, first time on YouTube, so I hope everyone welcomes him well. I mean, I've been doing some scouting and I only get the best, I only get the best. And look, how you going, Nick? How's things, buddy?
Living the dream, Steve. Living the dream, mate.
Oh man, you too, bro. You too. Out
We
here in
are, man.
Sydney,
We are.
bro. Loving it,
That's
loving
the
life.
one. We are.
Happy Gooner right now with the results and where we at?
So far, yep. So far, can't really complain much.
No?
Cannot complain. There's no point. Things are going good. Team looks like they've found an identity. They're playing well. They seem to be well drilled.
And what more could you want? What more could we want? I mean, we're getting wins against Villa. We're getting wins against Leicester, games that were ridden off by pundits, by Sky Sports and by everyone. But we're proving all the haters wrong, I guess.
Yep.
And Arteta maybe getting himself a little bit of credit, maybe? What do you reckon?
No, look, I must admit, I was one of his doubters, and I'm quite happy with what he's done. I've been calling for a formation change, as you know, when we've spoken. Been calling for a formation change for a while. People laughed at me, saying you don't know what you're talking about. Like we said before, 4-4-2 is a dinosaur and an archaic formation. But hey, 4-4-2 seems to be working for us now.
Seems to be. It seems to be a lot of teams don't have the answer for it. A lot of people are too busy complicating things. Running a 3-5-2, running a 4-3-3 and all this shit. And running into just a basic 4-4-2. And just
don't know how to deal with it.
And it's so old that it's new. And we're getting results. I mean, look, we could go back 5 weeks ago, and it was grim days. 5-6 weeks ago, we were looking at it, and it was looking shambolic.
No, not at all. It was pretty shit house to be honest. Yeah,
it was. The Tottenham game was a bit of a spike up. I think everyone looked at the Tottenham game. It was great.
They always say that the North London derby, form goes out the window, and we seem to show up, and we did show up. But we did put out a good performance, and then we dropped off again.
Yeah, we fell into a shell again. We went to that soft Arsenal, and I think that's what we're trying to. That character is something that we want to try to. Leave behind us moving forward. That soft Arsenal that can be got out physically or got out when the pressure's down. When we go a goal down, Arsenal seem to be that team that just crumble and allow teams back into the game. And hopefully that's a thing of the past, man.
Well, correct, man. Like every time we used to cop a goal, the heads would go down. The boys would be like disheartened. They don't want to run. They don't want to play. Heads are not there. Simple things like a simple 5-yard, 6-yard pass can't be made. Like that's criminal, man. That's criminal. You can't do that.
Now, not in the EPL, not in any league.
No, not in any league. No, man. No, you can't even do it in the Sunday league.
Bush leagues, yeah.
And I must admit, I was really worried. I've seen the performance that they did, like we put in by, basically by the whole team against Villa. And I thought straight back to the Tottenham game, and I went, yeah, Leicester's going to be a problem. But, man, they came out all guns blazing and carried on where they left off.
Took it to the team. I mean, the Leicester game is interesting. Like, the Leicester game, I know the Villa game, I went over that, and it was whatever. That was, to me, and I think to you, it was an obvious that we were going to play, if we played a 4-4-2, and I was calling for it, and so were you, I remember. And I was screaming for it, but I was thinking, no way, he's going to do that. I didn't use those kind of words. I use a different set of words. If anyone wants to look at that preview, I'm a bit vocal, but I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to be a bit professional. Yeah, just a little bit professional. And I used a different choice of words because I was over it by that time. But looks like Arteta might have been thinking the same way maybe me and you were thinking, with a change in formation, a basic 4-4-2. And then grabbing a player like Odegaard, who he spent money on because he thought he needed a number 10. And by putting him on the bench and not even using him, like literally just outcasting him, that's a big call, especially on a new signing. But bloody hell, big bollocks if you're going to make a call like that. Border player and see you later, eh?
I was, again, in a bit of a doubtful state when I'd seen the team shit, and I thought, ooh, He's not playing. He's got
Yeah.
Saka on the right wing and ESR on the left. I'm
Mm.
thinking, wow, is this going to work? And it paid dividends, against Villa, and they did it again against Leicester. And honestly, the way I see it, against Watford, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel you. Look, against Leicester, right? Now, we look at the Leicester game. I look at the Leicester game. Now, I looked at the Leicester game and I got vocal on Instagram. I got vocal everywhere and people came at me a little bit, but you know what? Fuck them, because end of the day, 1, 2, 3 points. And how many goals they score against us? I can't remember how many goals they
Um,
scored against. How many was it? Because we're getting old,
uh,
grey hairs and shit.
yeah, man. Look, it's falling out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
maturity.
bald, man. Like, fuck, I can't remember how many goals it was, but I don't think it
Oh,
was
that's
an.
right. None.
Oh, none.
None.
Oh, it was none. Oh, yeah. And that guy, Inform Madison, and James
Oh,
Madison was in form. He had,
he
he
had a
had,
blinder.
he had like, what was it, 9 games and 1 goal.
He had a blinder, mate.
Yeah,
I take my hat off to him. That second goal we scored, mate. That first pass that he put through to who
who?
was it? Was it Tavares
Yeah,
or was
I
it
think it
to
might have been.
ESR?
It would have been one of
I
the two.
can't remember
Yeah,
who it was. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
think he got a
He
bit
started a great move for us. Yeah, he started a very good move.
he looked invisible in that game. Like I was looking
He
for him, and
wasn't
he
there.
must have had like a cloak on because I went looking for him and like, wow, he must have the force or some shit because he's mixed up here. This could be dangerous if we can't even see Madison. But
Mm.
it was funny how I didn't hear
It was
anything from the.
great.
It was good, wasn't it? And I didn't. Did you hear
Yeah.
anything from the pundits to say James
No.
Madison was showing good quality or was in good form, or where was James Madison? How come he disappeared?
Oh, look, I didn't hear anything from neither the commentators
Mm,
nor the pundits, nor Opta Sport,
mm.
who had who was it? I can't remember who was
No, I can't remember.
who their two pundits were. But hey, before the game, they were talking him up so much.
20 minutes
I
was it?
thought,
About
wow,
20 minutes
that's
of 20 minutes of Leicester,
about that,
2 seconds of
something like that,
Arsenal.
about 20 minutes. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And they basically had their foot in their mouth after the game.
And that's what gets to me. See, in that game, now I don't know if you, I mean, we saw it. I remember I was calling that Sionsu can't play in a back three. After looking at Leicester a couple of
Correct.
times, he
No,
couldn't play a back three. He plays good in a back
no,
four. He's quality in a back four.
correct. He knows his positioning, but
Yeah.
in the back three, he's lost.
Yeah, because he doesn't play too far. He can play on the left and the middle, but not all the way to the left. And I remember watching the goal that Man United scored. And I looked at it, I thought, wait a minute, isn't Sionsu supposed to be picking Greenwood up? And he allowed Greenwood too much room, and that's something you don't allow Greenwood, because that guy can snap him. And he slapped that goal,
And he
great
did.
goal. And what a goal,
Yeah,
but quality
awesome.
goal.
Yeah,
But they were exposed, and the ball over the top for Rashford, exposed again.
same thing. Yep.
Yeah, and so I looked at that and I thought to myself, if we get Saka on that right and have him one-on-one with Sionsu, it'll be game on. And if you remember the first minute,
Oh, it was on. I think it was 30 seconds into the game or something, or 20 seconds in.
two
It
players on
was,
Saka, including one of them was Sionsu, and they couldn't handle him. He still put a ball in, and it was almost goal if Aubameyang was further back.
yes, correct.
And that, I found that
Look,
interesting. I found that phenomenal, really.
well, I must admit that after the United game, I thought that looking at their backline and the way they were sitting so high up,
Mm-hmm.
that they were really susceptible to that ball over the top. In a way, I was kind of a little bit upset that we didn't use it more, considering we had the speed of Aubameyang up there,
Mm-hmm.
Saka as well. Might have paid dividends. Maybe could have led to another goal or whatever. But hey, whatever. I don't care.
You'll take the
3
two.
points is 3 points. 2-0. 2-0's 2-0. I don't care if it was 1-0.
Yeah, end of the day, it's 3 points.
Yeah.
What did you think? What did you think of the squad selection? Now, I've been calling for Tavares since Aston Villa.
Look, I must admit, I was a bit skeptical when we spoke about that. I was thinking to myself, but in saying that, against who was it? It was Brighton.
Mhm.
That when we spoke, I also said that Tierney and Saka looked off the pace,
Mhm.
and they were. Okay, I understand Saka got smashed the week before. Oh no, sorry, it was against
No,
Palace.
it was against Palace. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, Palace, not Brighton. Brighton was the week before Palace. Yeah, that the week before he got wiped out basically. So
Yeah, got taken out.
I was a little bit how you going, you know, about him being in the team. Tierney, I thought, oh God knows what, could have been the fact that he'd played so many games, but look, we're only 9 games into the season, a couple of internationals as well. Can't really say that it's burnout.
No,
Maybe carrying a niggle. He may be
Nigel
carrying
maybe
a niggle that we
he's
don't know about.
out of form. Definitely out of form.
Yeah, but look, I was again, I was a little bit how you going about Tavares' selection, but mate, he's come up with the goods both games,
He has, hasn't he? I mean, he's been
and
inspirational in that left hand side.
I think he's going to be hard to displace. To tell you the truth, it's going to be hard to if he continues the way he's going,
Mm.
it's going to be hard for Tierney to he's not going to walk back into the starting lineup. I can tell you that much.
I was thinking the same thing. That was my next question. Do you think that Tierney's position is now sort of up for grabs since Tavares has put in? I know it's only 2 performances, but 2 decent
Mm,
performances against maybe apparently a strong Aston Villa team and an informed Leicester team. Okay, no, I'm going to call it. No, that's what they said. A
yeah,
strong
they
Aston
did.
Villa
They did.
team and an informed and an informed Leicester team. Under the guidance of Brendan Rodgers, didn't that work out well?
Yeah, it was great.
It was wonderful. I'm loving Brendan, and with his performances against apparently two decent squads. I mean, I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking it's going to be hard choice for Arteta when it comes to Tierney and Tavares. I mean, it's great to have competition. Two
It's a
types of.
it's a good it's a good problem to have. I must admit,
Mm,
like it's a very good problem to have. I
mm.
I'd rather have that decision to make than shit. We don't have anyone to put there. You know what? Let's just put Saka back in there.
Yeah,
Like,
or
come on, man.
chuck in Kolasinac, and he hasn't played 20 games. He hasn't played any games at all, and then judge him harshly. That's one thing I feel sorry for Kolasinac.
I
He'll
do. Yeah,
he never
yeah.
gets a start, and then they expect him to come out looking like looking phenomenal. It's like the guy hasn't had any games
Mm,
under his belt,
no, no.
and you're judging him harshly. That's one thing I feel about for Kolasinac. Um,
Mm,
but you know what? In that Leicester game, this is one thing a lot of people have come down on me on, and look, I can understand where they're coming from, and I see it both ways. Now, I know me and you were talking, and it was about the 30th or 33rd minute that we started to allow the ball to sit with Leicester a lot more. We started to sit
yep,
deep, we started to sit back, and we allowed them to push up and press up against us. And I remember you were saying, we can't keep doing this, we can't keep doing this.
yep,
Now, I've been asked already that again. No, we've been told already, that against bigger teams, we're going to struggle. Now I know you saw that, and I know you've seen Arsenal under George Graham, and we've seen similar things
yep,
when George Graham was manager.
yep.
What was your take on that? The amount of possession we gave to Leicester. What's your take? What's your vibe on that? What's your feels on that?
I,
Now
I,
after the
I,
game was
I
won.
don't know. I don't know their reasoning. I don't know whether they're thinking, you know what, we're comfortable. We've got two, we've got a lead. We'll defend, or whether they're just, I don't know, just becoming complacent.
Mm. I honestly
It's
thought
either
we lost the midfield battle.
comfortable or complacent, one or the other. And unfortunately, like you said, if we do that against City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they're going to smack us, man. And we can't afford to do that.
No, no,
We
I'm with
can't
you.
give, you know, we can't afford to give them, like we did, you know,
65% possession,
both of
bro.
them. Yeah,
65%
against
possession.
both teams, against Villa and against Leicester, we gave them like over 60% possession. We can't afford to give a top team. You can't. Let's be real. You can't afford to give any team 60% possession that's in the top half of the table,
Mm.
right?
No, I feel you.
You may get away with it with the bottom half, but 9 times out of 10 they'll make you pay, bro. They'll make you pay.
Look, I agree with you. Look, I think that
I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't care what they say and who says it, but no, man, I don't care what your lead is. If it was, again, I'm an Arsenal fan through and
mm,
through, but if it was United, if it was, City, if it was Chelsea, Liverpool, I can guarantee you they ain't taking the foot off the gas, man.
no, no,
They
they
will
wouldn't.
not take the foot off the gas. Look at Liverpool and the United game, Liverpool United.
Yeah, it was
They were
decimation.
were they 2-0 up in the 18th minute? It's the
Yeah,
same way as
yeah,
what we were.
yeah,
They kept going.
yep.
They kept going. and that's one thing that I must admit I'm not happy about.
Was it
And
honestly?
I don't know what the cause of that is either. So
I looked at it and I thought to myself, is it again an issue in the midfield? Was it an issue with the midfield again? Because I look at the midfield, right, and I look at Partey, I look at Sambi, and they're decent midfielders, but it feels as if they get overwhelmed very easily. Now, don't get me wrong, individual performances sometimes you can see what they can do, but in that game, it was almost as if once the ball got out of the defence and they tried to get it through the midfield, Leicester were able to pick back up again and push right back into our third once again, over and over again. It would look like that the midfield wasn't even trying to press the other player defensively. It looked like we were just zonal and just staying back and allowing them
yeah,
to travel.
yeah, yeah. You could say that, but you could also say that maybe we lost our shape a bit
Hmm.
in the midfield. You know, there was a lot of times where you had Partey sitting literally, you know, 3-4 yards just in front of our centre backs.
Hmm.
Now, yeah, I understand if they're pressing us or they're attacking us. Yeah, come back. But when we're attacking, Sambi may have gone for a run, and this guy's decided to, like, I'm going to stay back a bit, but that's just way too far back.
Way too deep.
You can't sit that deep and leave a gap between, Lacazette or Sambi, who's up there attacking, to you of 20, 30 yards, man. That's too much.
Yeah, you can fit a
can't do
bus
that.
in it.
It's no, man. You're asking for trouble, and that's one thing that it looked like to me, that they were coming at us through that gap.
It looked
And
like
they were
Partey's gap. It looked like, that's why I'm saying
Yeah,
Partey, because it looked
yeah,
like every time it was coming through, it was exactly where Partey should have been, and they were walking through
correct.
that area.
Yep.
And that's why I
And
mentioned
there
it. It
was
just
no pressure on them whatsoever either.
nah. It was only up until we got into their third that you'd notice Partey putting a bit of work in. But as soon as it came
Yes.
into our third, Partey just sat back, and it was almost like he was playing a centre back role, close to a centre
Yeah,
back's role.
it's like he's playing a third centre back. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what it seemed. That's what
Oh,
it seemed. But again, I don't know whether that's an issue that needs to be worked on or spoken about, or whether that's what he's been told to do.
that could have
We
been a
don't know.
tactic. It could have been an
We'll never
Arteta
know.
tactic. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because nothing surprises me with him. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, a 4-1-4-1 at one stage, and I was like, what, at home? The
No.
4-2-3-1 that used to leave us open. It was a nice
Mm.
formation to play against Tottenham, but any formation is a good formation to play against Tottenham.
Well, at the moment, yeah, you could play whatever you wanted against Tottenham, and you're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
getting 3 points, mate.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. They
Tottenham
just hand
seems
them
to be
over.
they're the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, I love it. They're the banter club now. They're literally a banter club now.
It's about time that someone else took the heat off us for a little bit.
Well, no, they weren't anything before. So they were just
No.
nothing. But at least now they've got a title. They can have the banter club. We just hand that down. It's hand me overs. Arsenal is that club that keeps on giving to its little brother. Here you go, Tottenham. He's a banter club. You can have that.
Yeah, you can have this for us.
Yeah, hold on to that for
We'll
us.
let you have it.
Yeah, why not? We'll let you borrow it because we've still got Arteta at the helm.
No. They can have it. They can have that.
Oh, wow. Oh, mate, look at that. See,
I'm being generous.
you see, this is why Nicky's on the show. Is because he's a giver. He just loves to just help people out and support. So if you guys are in trouble or you have dramas, knock on Nick's door. He's better than the Salvation Army. And for anyone in the UK, I'm telling you, Salvation Army, we've got it here. They're the gift that keeps on giving. Nick is a gift that keeps on giving. Unless he's on the pitch. Now, if he's on the pitch, he's very much like...
I give nothing.
Yeah, he's very much like me. I can't slow a guy down. I can't stop him, so I hurt him.
I'll take him out.
You just take him out. But you make sure it's good. So if you get a card, it's worth the card. You get your money's worth. Yeah,
100%.
That's it, mate. Now, look, the Leicester game was an eye opener, and I hope it's an eye opener to the rest of the league. That, like I've been saying, that defensively, Arsenal have got one of the best defensive lines, including goalkeeper, in the league. Now, I've been saying that for a while, and everybody was looking, thinking Steve's chatting shit. What about now? How about now?
I'm putting my hand up. I was one of those guys, Steve. I must admit.
It's all right, but you're a believer now.
I was questioning it. Like I thought to myself, I don't know. This
Steve's
guy.
He's putting his neck out there, but Steve's seeing something.
Yeah, Steve's sticking his head out like this.
And then you see Aston Villa having a hard time. You see you see Leicester for everything, including Brendan Rodgers at Ramsdale. and they still can't. So they just Vardy grabs friggin' he just grabs him and goes, and Ramsdale just safe hands, puts him down. Off you go, mate.
Over the bar.
Just flick him over. But it was. I've been seeing them defend. It was great. They keep their shape, and the way I see it is when you've got a back line, and you've played the game. When you've got a goalkeeper and a back line that don't shed goals, we all know that if we don't shed a goal, we're guaranteed 1 point, and we got a chance at 3.
Yep. 100%.
Right? You can score 20 goals in a game, but if you keep on leaking them, right, you're not guaranteed a win. Do you know what I mean?
Like, wasn't that Arsene Wenger's mantra?
Yeah.
They can score a goal. We just have to score more.
Yeah, that was him. But remember, Arsene Wenger, when he came in, he was lucky that George Graham had done all the work for him defensively.
The back line, correct.
He got a very good back line. Didn't have to do much work there. He already had a Dennis Bergkamp. Remember, he didn't sign Bergkamp. He inherited a Bergkamp. He had a decent Ian Wright, and then he could just add a few players here and there. And of course, it led to his success. And he developed the team further. But whatever.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah, we give him credit. But there was a lot of groundwork done by Graham. And I see a lot of it. I see our defenders and the communication between Gabriel and Ben White now as being key. And to be honest, you can see Gabriel leading it, much like a Tony Adams used to do with a Martin Keown. And he is leading it, but Ben White, bloody hell, Ben White, I'm just gonna run through the park. I'll take the ball from my third.
Run the other third.
If you don't stop me,
the attacking third,
I'm gonna do a Louise on you. I'm gonna keep going. And I'm just going to hand the ball to Lacazette because if you don't stop me, I'm just going to keep going. And I know it's like he's out of position, but every time he does it, you see Partey just drop back. So it's like, I'll cover this. But that awareness and to have a defender who can move the ball and not get stuck on it like a Mertesacker or in some cases even a Colosciani used to get stuck on a ball, couldn't handle it. You've now got two centre-backs that can play the ball. One left-footed, one right-footed, and they can both move. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's good to. Well, I think that from what I can see, in my opinion, Gabriel is basically the leader, and I like that because Ben White. Okay, yes, they're all in their 20s. What he's 24, something like that.
Something like, but they're all. It's a young.
24 and Gabriel's 26.
It's a young backline, which is what's got me so happy. They're only going to get better. We've got a backline for 5 years, easy.
I'm calling the next decade, man. The best part of the decade, anyway. But one thing I have noticed is a couple of times in the last 2 games, in the Villa game and the Leicester City game, well, towards the end of the Villa game, Ben White started to have his little lapses in concentration.
Yeah.
And that almost led to a second goal, literally 30 seconds after the kickoff.
Yeah.
If you remember correctly.
Yeah.
And in the Leicester game, yes, there was a gap between Partey and Ben White that Barnes came through.
Yeah. It was again,
that ball was put through by Tielemans.
Yeah, good ball too.
But a great ball, fantastic ball. But my thing was, it seemed that White was too far over towards Gabriel, and that opened up that gap to allow that ball to come through and Barnes to run onto it. Now, maybe he has to work on his positioning a little bit more. Maybe it's just that, that little momentary lapse of concentration that he goes through, every now and again. But you know what? Like you said, he can only get better, man. He can only get better. And so far, they're doing good.
Yeah, I can't complain.
That's my only thing that I can really, pick at.
Is it? Yeah,
as for everything else, they throw themselves at everything. And you saw Ben White do it against Villa. Throwing himself in front of shots. And,
blocking.
Gabriel does it. Time and time again.
But it's like he's picking something up. It's like he's picking something up from Gabriel. He's looking at what he's doing and saying, "Wait a minute,
correct.
This is something I can add to my arsenal to better myself."
Yeah, and here's something that we've also agreed upon. Might be time to take that big C off Aubameyang and give it to Gabriel, man.
Ah, no, that's what I was getting to. You took that words right. I was just about to walk over. This is the reason
I
why,
knew,
you know,
I
I'm
knew
telling.
where you were
I'm,
going.
I see. This is the reason. See, this is that relationship. See, now people who are going to watch this are going to say, so this is why Steve got him on. Yes, yes. We both know when to take a player out and how much damage to do. And in this case, I was leading on to Aubameyang and the captaincy. Does
Yeah,
Aubameyang hold on to that armband? Because I honestly think
I,
he's a nice
he's not a
guy.
leader.
He's not. He's too nice. You want. Look, a captain can be a striker, a defender, a goalkeeper, but he has to command respect, and he needs to
Correct.
come in at 110% every game, because every player looks and says, "Well, I can't say nothing to my captain." One, because there's a bit of fear in me. Two, because he always puts a performance in, right? And the rest of the squad believe in him. And I see it in Gabriel. He's a kind of guy, especially even Ramsdale, is he gets
Oh,
like when he's in, he is in, and he is screaming and barking orders to
look,
everyone.
you don't have to go much further than his goal celebration.
Oh my god, yeah,
Clenched fists,
yeah,
that mean face, like I'm here to kill sort of thing.
yeah. He
You know,
he he, he bridged up. He bridged up hard. He was
yeah,
ready. Yeah, it
that's
was
it.
good.
Yeah, go. That's something that you saw from Keown, and Adams back in the days. You
Lacazette
know,
just recently.
yeah, same thing.
Hmm.
But from a defender's point of view, something like that, man, that's that era again. Not so
Takes you
much
back.
your Sol Campbell and so on and so forth, but
Laurent Cole now.
you know, yeah, no, more Adams, like,
Yeah.
and Keown, like they did with what was his
Well,
name from United?
Van
The
Nistelrooy, when
good,
Keon was about to
yeah,
rip
that's
his
right.
heart
Yeah,
out,
good.
I
Try to
was
take his.
what I was watching that game. I was watching that game,
Oh my
and I'm
god.
thinking of all the guys you decided to piss off. You piss off our version of Vinnie Jones. Good luck
Yeah,
with that, because this guy's going to come to your house later on. He's not done. He's done with the game. He's still
I,
going to come knocking. He's
yeah,
nutter.
I was so glad that final whistle went, because I thought to myself, the way these guys carrying on, they're going to
Yeah.
get a free kick right outside the box now, and they're going to put it in the top corner.
But Keon would have handed him the
Uh,
ball just for an excuse to friggin' hack him, because he was that kind of player.
yeah,
He just take the ball. I'm
that,
coming now.
but
um,
see and that's the kind of
mm,
attitude and the passion and desire that I see coming from Gabriel at the moment.
it
Okay,
is.
not to that,
Oh,
not to
not to that
that point,
extent.
to
Yeah,
that
not to.
extent,
Yeah,
but it's there. It's like
it's more
the
controlled
drive is
aggression. There's
there.
aggression there,
Yeah,
but it's controlled. It's
there's
very.
aggression, but
Yeah,
it's yep, it's there's a lot of drive, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of you know him trying to put as much as he can into this game, and that's what I think is the driving force behind this backline at the moment.
he's professional.
It's
He's
yeah,
professional.
100%.
He's a professional, and you can see it. He's a
Yeah.
young defender. So's Ben White. So's Kieran So's Tavares.
Hmm.
So's Ramsdale. So's Takahiro. So's Sambi Lokonga. All
Yeah.
these players are all young players,
Yeah.
but you can see that
Yeah.
they're putting in a shift and doing the best they can at the moment, and they
Hmm.
only can get better. Now,
Oh,
honestly,
100%.
I think at Leicester, I think all these pundits, and this is why I went crazy on Instagram and I lost it and I went hard, because I've had just about enough of people writing off the team. If I can see it, I'm not crazy. Look at, if you've seen my previews, every time I'm saying something, I say, I'm saying this because I see this and I see this. Now, if I'm wrong,
Hmm.
if there's a difference in opinion, I love to hear other people's opinions. Show me what I
Oh,
haven't seen, because there's more. I can't see it all. But the problem
mm,
is, I can't see any other way. And I'm looking at it and thinking to myself, well, if I can see it, but no one else is mentioning it, it's just one of those things where it's like Leicester are a more popular team at the moment. Arsenal are known to be soft, and it's going to be predictable Arsenal, even though we're not going to look at the football that Arsenal are playing right now.
mm.
And that's what gets
Well,
to me.
look, you know what? At the end of the day, if that's the way they want to, look at us, well, so be it.
We'll be the
But
dark
the way I
horses.
see it at the moment, we're doing great. The boys are doing excellent. They're out there. They're putting their heart and souls into the game. There was a couple of times where I thought, oh, when Lacazette went off against Villa, he called for a sub, and I went,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Oh, shit. We were worried about
this is not
injury.
good.
Yeah.
What are we going to do next week? But
But,
he seemed to be fine. It was good.
yeah.
He came back, had another cracking game.
We've kept a
Yeah,
couple of good clean sheets. Like, we kept a clean
yes, we
sheet
have.
against Burnley. We kept a clean sheet against, I think it was Norwich. We kept a clean sheet
Yep.
against Brighton. It was 2-2 with Palace. It
Mm-hmm.
was 3-1 with Villa, and it was a
Yep.
clean sheet against Leicester.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm only naming these games not because of the positivity, but because this is sort of when our backline and our goalkeeper came into mix, this new backline on goalkeeper. And ever since then, it's been improvement on improvement. Yes, the Crystal Palace game was a bit shambolic. Yes, the Brighton game was an Arteta masterclass because he stuffed it. And same with Crystal Palace, he stuffed both those.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
you notice that against Villa, and Leicester, we looked the better team. We looked a stronger team, and we looked a lot more stable and confident on the ball. And I just believe that. I mean, I'm going to get into it now, but we've got a game against Watford. This is probably a good time to play Watford. But the one thing I don't want to see from Arsenal is no respect for the other team, because I think that's something that Arsenal fall into. They go, this is a guaranteed win. And in the EPL, look what happened to Man City. Look what happened to Liverpool. Liverpool dropped points. They didn't lose points. They didn't lose a game. They dropped points. But anything can happen to any team at any time. And I don't want us to be beating teams that are better than Watford, only to go to Watford and to drop points. I think lose or drop points. This has to be three. We need three. We need three here. So what do you think? You think against Watford, because I know that's coming up. I thought I'd hit that one on the head.
Yep.
What are you thinking against Watford? Do you think much of the same? Do you think much of the same, but maybe we need to start changing a little bit when it comes to attack, where instead of it just being ESR and Saka constantly moving the ball around, but we need Sambi to start playing that number 8 role where he's going to be shifting the ball forward. Now, Partey can do it to an extent, but I think Sambi's more mobile. And we need to start moving the ball through the middle of the park a bit, because against Leicester, if you notice something against Leicester, when we started moving the ball into the middle of the park, because they were worried about our wingers, we actually had more success, but we weren't using that. So I just want to see some more movement from the middle of the park. What are your thoughts against Watford?
Look, again, like I said at the beginning, man, I'm a bit, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But as for movement and that sort of stuff, that's one thing I think we seem to be lacking a lot of off the ball stuff. Gone are the days where our attacking players, our front, the front line would make runs off the ball, drawing defenders this way and that way, opening gaps left, right, and centre.
Your Bergkamps, your Henrys.
I don't see it happening anymore. What I do see is players, rushing wide and going as far as they can to that sideline till they run out of room, and then all of a sudden you've got
what do I do now?
Right next to each other.
What do I do? What do I do?
Right next to each other, and they're looking at each other, and it's like, hang on a minute, dude, what are you doing here? Get out of here. And that's one thing that I've noticed that we don't do much of, off the ball movement.
And it's key.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's part of this new age game, and I'm just an old fart, that's stuck in the dinosaur era of 4-4-2. But man, it's not happening. And you see Aubameyang every now and again, he'll make a dart. He'll dart off this way and that way.
No one's gonna find him.
Run. But the thing is, when he doesn't get the ball, he gets the shits. He drops his shoulders, turns around, and starts moaning, and then he doesn't do it anymore. He doesn't do it anymore. And then you got players like Pepe that want to take players on, and look, man, I don't know, but for some reason he kind of reminds me of Theo Walcott. His feet are faster than his brain, and it's just not working for him.
Pepe's been a shambles. Pepe's a shambles. He's the kind of guy. He gets 2 defenders on him. It's all over. It's all over.
And that's what they do. And that's the way to shut him down. Like,
you can't muscle it out. Like Saka against Leicester, he had 2 defenders on him. He stuck to his guns and pulled through. If that was Pepe, ball was gone.
No,
done. Ball was gone. The attack was just forget about it. But I think against Watford, I agree with you. Look, we need to see more movement off the ball. Now I know our defenders, our wing backs are doing a great job. The Takahiro, which we didn't touch on, but Takahiro's been great since he's come in.
Oh, he's been phenomenal, man. Like,
I didn't know who he was, and I actually said I don't know who this guy is, and I was kind of bagging him at the start because I'm like, this is cheap defender. God knows what he's going to be like. Is he going to be the new Callum Chambers? But I got to shut the fuck up because he's come in and I'll call a spade a spade. I stuffed. I didn't know much about him. I should shut up. And he's come in, and that right hand side all of a sudden looked. And you had Tierney on the other side. That right hand side looked like the player that had been there for 3 years, and Tierney looked like he just come to the club.
A lot stronger, correct? Yeah.
And he's quick. He's a big guy. I think he's about 6 foot, and he can move. So
I think 6'1", 6'2", something like that. I think he is.
Not a small fella.
No,
He doesn't.
That's a big right back, man.
And he don't miss a header. That's one stat that most people see. He doesn't miss a header. This guy. It's a challenge for a header. He's got it. I honestly think against Watford, what we have to do is, I know they've got I think it's Ranieri now as their new coach, which is good for them because I love Claudio. I think everybody's a bit of a Claudio Ranieri fan. To be honest, we got to
closet fan.
Yeah, he's all right. You don't admit it, but you can't. You'd still walk up and want to take a picture with him. So I'm thinking Ranieri's going to shape up his team because look, this is a team that just lost to Southampton, right? A tight game to Southampton. I think it was 1-0.
Yep.
And I can't remember who they slapped up 5-0 just before. So I off the top of my head, I can't remember who it was. But let me have a look. It was a game that they played, and it was a 5-0. And I could not believe the scoreline. It was phenomenal. And I was like, well, Ranieri's come in and he's turned his team into like, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. Let me just have a look. Sorry, guys. I know I'm taking my time on this, but I'm slow. Where are we? Watford. What game?
Yeah, we got all day, Steve. Don't worry, man.
We got all night. Yeah, it's not like you're going to work. Fuck work. Yeah. Look, hey, I own you, mate. I fucking, like, how much money am I paying you? Fuck. KSC gave me some money to recruit.
Yeah. This is what he's paying me in Coke, no sugar.
It's Coke, but it's a different type of Coke. That good stuff. They actually went 5. They went don't worry, it's a whole world now. 5-2 against Everton. 5-2 against Everton. Yeah, I knew it was a 5. I thought it was a 5-0. It was a 5-2 against Everton. Now,
yeah, but you know what? Like, I understand.
5 goals from a team, but 5 goals from a team that was shambolic before Ranieri. Like, remember, this is a team that was in dire straits. They come play Everton, and they look. Any team you can score 5 goals on, any team in the EPL, that's still impressive.
I watched the Wolves Everton game this morning, and I'm surprised that they didn't score 105 goals past Everton.
Yeah, but see now, Wolves couldn't score that many, but these guys did. So that's why I look and I say, well, Wolves are a better team. But wait a minute. Watford did. Watford came in and hit 5. And that's why whenever I see something like that, I go, wait a minute. I'm not going to fucking just go, oh, whatever, it's a one-off. No. You take that serious. That's 5 fucking goals, man. Unless they were down to 9 men. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Like you said, at the beginning of the show, it's the EPL, man. Anything can happen, and anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah, and it's scary. And that's why it's the best league in the world.
100%. 100%. I don't rate. It doesn't rate against any other league, man. It's up here.
It's too high up. It's too far gone. Look, I'll be honest with you. Against Watford, I want to see a bit more pressing and defensively. I want to see us to muscle more, and because that's been my thing. I want to see more fouls, and I know it's like, why do you want to? I want fouls. I want muscling, because that's how you can win games. And to be honest,
but it also, how much the referees hate us, man. So
it's fine. That's fine.
Might be asking.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I do.
No. Look, trust me, mate. I want it to be the Arsenal of old. We're playing you. Doesn't matter. You know how it is. You get past me, I'll get a red. I'll walk out.
That's as far as you go.
And I want to watch you get carried out, mate. That's what's going to happen. We'll walk down the tunnel together, but I'll be on my feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. I might even help carry you out. Yeah. I want it to be a hard Arsenal. I want it to be a team that just comes in and just grinds.
So far, like, I must admit, everyone's put in a big shift, man. Like, you see people. You ever see Aubameyang coming back?
Yes.
And putting in slide tackles, mate, in the final third.
Decent tackles. Lacazette doing that shit
all
too.
Over the place.
Oh yeah.
Look, he's great. Like, remember when was it against Villa?
Oh yeah, he was playing centre back.
I said to you, mate, what's going on? Have they moved him, into
change formation, Steve? Do we change? I go, no, we didn't change formation. He's just he's coming back.
He's back on our side of the bloody half, while Aubameyang's standing up there on his own, looking for something to do.
But
But
you
it's
know,
it's 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 crazy. It's great, and this is what we've been missing.
the
This is
cohesion,
what we've been missing. Yeah,
the
hundred
cohesion,
percent.
playing
You
as a
know,
team.
everyone's putting in a shift, man. Everyone's busting their asses.
And that's
You know,
what I want to see as well. Even if we lose a game, but if a team comes out and pushes and harries, and if we lose because they are the better team, and we were all we could be, but we lost because they were the better team, all Arsenal fans will hold their heads up high. They'll look for the individual mistakes. They'll say, you know what, it was still a hard game. We don't want to see
correct.
capitulation. We don't want to see players falling on their sword when it's a bad pass. We want to see defending together as a unit. We want to see an attack coming together as a unit. And the more this
That's right.
team plays as a team, I think they can really still become the dark horses. And maybe 8th or 6th is something that we could see by the end of the season.
Well, I'm hoping it's more than that.
Look,
You know, like
I'm a bit cynical, you know. You got to be a cynic when you're an Arsenal fan. I mean, come on.
come on, man.
Oh, look, I'm not going to sit.
I'm thinking.
What?
I'm thinking. You know, like 6th or 5th. You know, I'll be
Okay,
able
all
to
right,
live with that.
5th. All right, I'll give you 5th, but you don't understand. Tell me 3rd and 4th. That's
I'll
going to be
take
tough.
6th. No. We're not there yet. No, we're not. Look, I love him, but we're not there yet, man. We're a few players short of that. I have to say, we need a striker. Honestly,
Yeah.
we need a striker, man.
We need to start looking
It's
for one
kind
to
of.
replace Aubameyang. That's right.
I think it's time to replace him now. Like it's getting to the point where, you know what? Yeah, he scored. What was it? 20-odd goals in a couple of seasons in a row.
Yeah.
You know, especially was it last season as well? He carried us.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
This season,
this season he's been
toothless.
off the ball.
Bit toothless.
Yeah.
And he had a chance against
He
Schmeichel. He didn't put fuck all on it. That's what got me. I go, what the
look, you know what? You can look at that both ways. You can look at it, you know, as
half a chance?
It was a half a chance. Schmeichel got lucky. He was sliding on his knees, you know, and it hit his ankle, I think it was, and it didn't go in. That's one of those things. Like, you know, you put it high. How high can you put it?
Yeah, but a Ronaldo scores that. A Salah scores that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
A Lukaku even might score that. I mean, I know 5 times you won't.
We don't have that type of player. That's the thing. Like, we've got Aubameyang, who's 31.
Yeah.
You know, he's
32 actually, and Lacazette going on 30, I think it is.
Yeah. Well, he's gone to the peak, and you know, it's kind of like on the downhill now.
Yeah, I can see that.
How long does it last?
I've been saying the same thing. I was on a stream today, and I said the same thing. We need to look for a striker, and I don't see it in our academy as of yet.
No. I don't think Nketiah is up to it personally. I don't think. What's the other guy's name?
Balogun. Yeah, you barely see Balogun.
That's the problem. We don't see enough of him.
No.
You know, maybe he like I remember people, you know, on Facebook raving about him, saying, you know what, he scored, you know, X amount of goals and he scored these crackers, and we don't see it. Like, you know, it's one thing to do it in the under 23s, but it's another thing to do it with the big boys. You know, the big boys, exactly, and that's where you make your name.
That's right. You got to come in.
You think. Yeah, you think back, like we had, there was times where we had great strikers. You know, even what was his name?
Who do you think?
I think what was he, a little Spanish fella? Carlos Vela.
Oh, Vela.
Carlos Vela.
He was.
You know what? But the thing was,
I didn't rate him. I'm sorry, man.
You know what? He was never given a shot. Every time
he was given a shot, man. He had a bent foot, man. Come on.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me Carlos? Well, look where he ended up, man. Look, if he was, let's say, he ended up in the fucking MLS, like, and you're saying that Carlos Vela was quality. Like, Ibrahimovic ended up at the MLS for fun. Carlos Vela ended up at MLS because no one else would have him. Let's just call it what it is, mate. Like,
you just twisted my words.
No, Marconi Stallions didn't want him, for God's sake, man. Come on now.
Listen, man. There's. I don't know what we're doing, Steve.
I'm hurting Carlos Vela. Bugger him. He ain't playing for Arsenal anymore. He ain't never He was a never has been, never will be. You know.
The point I was trying to make before you turned around and you know tried to.
Before I rudely interrupted. Yes.
make me sound like I'm trying to compare him to the original Ronaldo, not this fraud that plays for United.
Oh, oof.
Um,
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's bad. He's big. Oof.
hey man, come on, dude. For me, there's only one Ronaldo.
Look, in his younger
Nazario.
days, yeah, look. This Ronaldo, we got to admit, he has lasted. He's lasted years, and he's aged well.
Yeah, you know what? I will take my hat off to him. Yes,
I
but you know
got to
what?
give him credit, man. He doesn't look at
He, play,
Juventus. They're
he
struggling
plays for
without him
United.
now.
He plays for United. I don't
Yeah,
fucking care.
yeah, fuck him.
Nah, look, no, it's look. The point I was trying to make was, we had somebody like Vela on the bench,
Mm.
right? And yeah, he could do something. He
Edu.
could come on. He'd score a goal.
Remember
Or
Edu?
whatever,
Edu. Remember Edu?
or an assist. Yeah,
Mm.
same thing. But we don't have a player like that on the bench at the moment.
Nah. But
And
you know
that's
what?
we're missing.
It's hard to find. Look, nowadays strikers are not. They're not a dime a dozen anymore. If you look, you
No.
look at Lukaku and the signing of Lukaku by Chelsea, right?
Yep.
And I know it was like, oh, they got Lukaku. I'm not saying Lukaku ain't great. He's okay, but I don't rate him that high because when he was in the Premier League, he was missing chance after chance and still getting goals, but he was missing a lot of chances.
Yep.
The good thing is with
Still doing it
Chelsea,
now.
yeah, but the good thing about Chelsea now is they create a lot and they've got options. So now they've got him, and
Well, that's right. Yeah, if he's not scoring, you've got that. What's the young fella's name now?
dude, if he's not
Scored a
if he's
couple
not
or a
scoring,
hat-trick
Reece
last week.
James,
That's
right
it,
back
Reece
comes and
James.
scores goals. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he scored a hat trick, didn't he?
Yeah, dude, Reece
Last week?
James comes along and says, "How many goals do you want? I'll take free kicks on the lot." Like he's
Yeah.
look, the Chelsea team at the moment. They needed a striker, but he's not under that much pressure. And any other team, he'd have a harder life. But because he's with Chelsea, he's actually not a
Yeah.
bad fit there because they create so much and they'll grind out a win. He's not under much pressure. But I look at it and I think strikers are not that easy to come by. And I think you're right. We've
They-
got to start looking
they're
now.
They're not, but like, where do you look? Who do you get? Where do you find them?
Well, that's what scouts are for, mate. Me and you are not going to be able to go out there and find every single striker out there.
100%.
Scouts are going to have to go out there and start looking and start paying.
We can only we only see what we get shown, basically.
Exactly. In the end of the day, these guys are good.
The players that we watch on television, sort of thing, and that's it. Like, I'm not out there watching, the Championship or Division 1, 2, 3, and say, hey, you know what, this guy, man. Yeah, it's not. They don't pay me for that.
But you're right.
The thing is, like, there's players there, but do you take the gamble?
Well, I mean, you'd be silly not.
Like, I look at somebody like, okay, he's injured at the moment, and they're struggling without him at the moment.
I know who you're going to say. Go.
Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, fucking see that. We cut from the same fucking cloth. I was going to say that. Yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, again, another player I was asked about today that, to be honest, is of quality. And
look at them without look at Everton without him. They're nothing.
Yeah, they're shambolic.
Got nothing.
They're shambolic without him.
They have absolutely nothing. That Damari Gray today, had how many opportunities.
Look, Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be a decent signing for Arsenal. I mean, but how much would he go for? 70, 80?
Well,
easy.
Well, this
easy.
is the thing,
English.
because
You know how the English tax is. Once he's in, it goes from he's worth 40. We'll take 105. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's me doing you a favor.
Well, Steve, you're into the car scene. I'm into the car scene as well.
Yeah.
It's like the car scene with the COVID tax at the moment in Australia.
Oh yeah.
Everything's worth 100,000 plus. So
minimum. I mean, you want to.
That's the problem.
You want a you want a '93 Daihatsu Charade in Australia? If you're not paying $107,000 for it, you're not getting it. You're not getting it. That's it. You know, Opel Record. That's
the way it is.
130,000.
Who do you get, mate? That's the problem. Where do you find him? Now, just because he's, like you said, the English tax is ridiculous. Just because he's an English player, they want a fortune.
Yeah, and look, Ben White, 50 million.
Ben White, classic example. Ben White, Raphael Varane. Okay, fair enough.
Raphael Varane, he was proven. He was proven.
Yes, he was. But the thing is, a lot of people also pointed out that Ben White's wages compared to Raphael Varane's wages.
Yeah, of course.
At the end of the day, Varane will end up costing United 3 times the amount that what we paid for Ben White.
But at the same
And
time, with the same respect, we both know that United needed a leader in the centre back as a centre back, and we've got a
yeah,
leader.
but he's not even playing. He's injured.
I know he's back.
Oh,
He's
he's back
back.
this week, is he?
Well, he was back. The game against Tottenham. Why do you think they didn't concede? If it was Maguire back there on his own, Maguire, he needs someone like him to say, "Oi, oi, 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 just relax. Do what I tell you to fucking do, and don't do anything else, please." I think in their back line, Varane is key. No Varane, no back line. Let's just be honest, he's key.
100%. It's what
He's good.
He's what Van Dijk is for Liverpool.
Yes, he's key. And I know he's only been there a short time, but any Man United fan that says anything about Varane is an idiot. Because without Varane, how many goals did you guys concede? Shit. I can't fit him in the fucking garage. It was so many, without Varane. But now with Varane, you guys are looking a lot better. I know it was Tottenham, but who cares, yeah. But look, we got the Watford game coming up, and I reckon we got that. I reckon we got a 2-0 there. What are your predictions? I'm not going to blow it out and say 55-0. I'm going to say 2-0 because I'm respectful. I said 2-1 against Leicester. I wasn't far off,
Yeah, I'll be looking at a couple of games, from Watford tomorrow during the day, just to basically, analyse and go over and
doing the same thing
and see what we can and can't do and what we should and shouldn't do against them. But from what I've seen, man, I reckon I'll probably be more leaning towards a 3-1, man.
Yeah. Wow.
I think we're going to concede, unfortunately.
You reckon we'll concede? I've got faith in the back line because I reckon they're just superb. I think I'm saying 2-0 because I think we'll win this game and I think we'll win it fair. And I'm going to do this. I do the same thing just like you're doing. I look at their games. I look at their formation. I look at how they set up against different teams. And, eventually I'll do my preview as well. And it'll be fucking a 55-minute preview that I fucking do because it'll be a rant. It'll be 55 minutes of just stats and everyone just going, Jesus Christ, mate, just tell me what the result is so I can put a bet on it. Just tell me what you think. I believe you, mate. How much money should I bet?
Steve, I look forward to your rants, your previews, and I look forward to your reviews after the game as well.
and my messenger chats.
100%. I don't miss them, mate. I do not miss your preview, and I do not miss your review.
I should never do a watch along, but I think that'll just be so friggin' R-rated. It would just never make it on YouTube.
I think your channel may be disconnected by YouTube if you did one.
I reckon I'll be arrested. There'll be a helicopter come down and just fucking I'll disappear. We got to get rid of this guy.
Western Sydney, nobody would think any different, bro.
Yeah. It'd just be just another helicopter landing. It's all good. Yeah,
another day.
Wasn't wearing a mask. But look, I'm going to wrap that up here, guys. And it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Nick. And I'm going to try and do this every week. So if you could join me every week and we could do, an Arsenal yarn, we can talk about the game that was that has come and gone and the game's coming up. Hopefully we'll have my third co-host, which would be Zaya on. He couldn't make it today, but maybe next time he will. And we can make this a constant and just a bit of a yarn between a whole bunch of Australian Arsenal fans that come from slightly different eras. You know what I mean, mate?
Yeah, it sounds like a plan, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed the laughs.
It's great. Look, I couldn't wait to get you on.
Look, it's it's good to actually talk.
No, it's wonderful
with somebody that understands the game. It's not like, I watch it on TV. I've never played the game. I play FIFA on PlayStation or on Xbox, and I'm an expert.
I watched the highlights. The extended highlights. Yeah. I now saw the whole game.
9-minute highlights. Yeah. 9-minute highlights.
Yeah, I was devoted. 9 full minutes of just the highlights. Yeah, it was just. It took all that out of my life. Yeah, no. And look, I have the same sentiment. I can't stand people who look at highlights and then start talking football. And it's the reason why me and you can sink in and I can talk to the guys from Football Capital, Bits and Bobs. All those guys are guys that watch the game, can look at a game, not even just ours, but another game, and look at it from a neutral perspective and take it apart to the nitty gritty
Yeah,
gears.
break it down.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be done.
Yeah, and look, honestly, if we'll definitely do this again. It's a must,
Yep.
and hopefully we can cover these games the best we can. And if people like what they hear, they like what they hear. And if they don't, too bad, so sad.
Yeah, it's your channel, and I'm your guest, and you don't like it, don't watch.
Don't watch. That's it. So from the Aussie Gooner to everyone out there, you don't like it, it's Uru, guys. Uru.
That's it, Uru, brother.